We'll see. Thank you for watching the Community Spotlight. I'm your host, Atia Harris. In the studio, we have Marcus Massey. He's had some great accomplishments here in the city of Charlotte in the area of film. He's also an entrepreneur. So we're going to kind of delve into his life a little bit and see what we can learn from him. How you doing today, Marcus?
I'm doing great.
You doing great?
Doing great. Glad to be here.
All right. So I just mentioned some of your accomplishments, but I want to go back to before. There's a lot of people trying to figure out, hey, how to start a business. Many folks say, I want to be an actor, I want to be in film, I want to be in media. They kind of don't know where to begin, just jumping into this, jumping into that. So with your life story, we're going to learn a lot of things today. So let's go back. How was your life as a teenager?
Well, as a teenager, I was, very aspiring on a lot of things, playing football and playing sports. I was real heavy in sports back then.
Okay, so what did you learn from sports? There's a lot of motivation that goes along there.
Well, with it, I had a lot of what you would call as a teenager. I loved it, but I was wanting to do something else. I was bigger than that. I just wanted to, more like get into something other than the sports, and it ended up being like I ended up getting in some trouble behind it.
Okay, all right. Let's pause with the sports real quick. What type of sports were you doing?
I was doing football, baseball, basketball.
Okay, now I can understand baseball. I can understand basketball, but how do you get the nerve to go out there on football?
Well, actually, I was very great playing football. I was quarterback, running back. Started as a running back, second fastest person in the state of North Carolina in 1986 in the record book.
Wow.
So,
but I'm saying all those hits, taking those hits and
I love
giving
that.
those
It was
hits.
good contact.
Is that like Macho Man soap opera or something?
Not really. You can't hit what you can't catch. That was my motto.
Okay.
So, I was good.
All right, so now you say you decided to do some other things that just wasn't satisfying you. Why is that? A lot of people, especially when they get into football and sports, they're saying, hey, I want to go to college, I want to go professional.
Well, as a teenager, I got caught up with the peer pressure of things. I started seeing a lot of things other than the sports that caught my attention. And, I could look at it today and say, I regretted it happened, but it made me the man I am today. So, I end up not doing the sport thing and got caught up into the glitz and the glam of the streets. And it took me in a whole nother direction. But
was it the money that attracted you over there?
Definitely, it was the money. It was lots of money involved, and it just took my mind totally off of what I was brought up to do. As my mom and dad, I was raised up in a good household. They knew sports was real big, with me, but I just was an adventurous kid. I just wanted more, and I just, what I was seeing was a product of where I came from.
All right, so what was your parents' reaction to that
change? Of course, being that I come up in a good household, it was definitely a problem, dealing with that because they didn't bring me up like that. But then to see that, it was like, if he gonna want to be in a man's world, we're gonna let him be a man.
So was it like were you like sometime when we become teenagers, we get this mind of our own, we believe we're grown before we're grown.
Exactly.
All of a sudden guidance is no good. Were you like the unreachable teenager?
Yeah,
this is what I want to do, this is what I'm gonna do.
Yeah, exactly what it was. I was, well, I couldn't say fortunate because, I was wrong, but I was fortunate in the money I was receiving. So that made me even more feel like I was a man to make my own decisions to do what I wanted to do.
So it's interesting that you would say you was wrong. What was going on in your conscience during that time period?
Well, just being conscious of knowing what I was doing wasn't right,
So something was saying this is not right even though you have all this money.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
If you could go back to that day when you switched over from sports, what would you do the same thing or would you do something different?
I definitely wouldn't do it because I feel that I know I could have been in the NFL. I know it. I could have been someone that was great in track and field. I know this. That could have made a career out of it.
So do you feel like you kind of took immediate money, but you actually took a loss because if you would have stayed on the path, it could have been a greater reward?
Yeah, I feel like, I can agree with that. I can agree with that. Banking on my talent and knowing me, if God was, if I was, if it was God's will for me to be here playing sports, I think I would have did excellent in it. And I would have took a loss at the same time because of the decisions I made.
Yes. Well, we appreciate you sharing this information because what is actually doing. You never know who's watching right now.
Exactly.
And who's thinking, hey, I'm going for the quick money. And then they might say, you know what, this may not be worth it. Now, I want to know, what is the advantages of going for the quick money and what's the downfalls?
Well, the advantages is nothing. To be honest with you, there is no advantage to it because it all leads to a dead end road. And I learned that from, bumping my head and going through it the way I had to go through it. It's just not, it's not an advantage.
Well, when you say dead end road, I think of maybe possible jail time, maybe dying.
Yeah, definitely.
Maybe having a lot of people around you. You can't really even trust anybody. I remember a young man I knew got robbed by his own friends. I mean, it's kind of like, is it a stressful lifestyle?
Well, like what you just said, when you said about, a guy that got robbed by his own friend. When I say that, I mean, when you're in that lifestyle by choosing those wrong decisions and things that that aren't right, I look at it like this. When I got in that game or that lifestyle, I was taught easy, this is the concrete jungle. This ain't gonna be peachy, ain't nothing gonna be, fictitious about it. Everything that happens come with this type of life. So if you choose this, you got to be ready for it. And,
so it's the saying, so there's no honor among thieves. Can we apply that?
Exactly. That's exactly what it is. And if you consider that a win, I don't know who you are, where you're from, but nobody wins. Nobody. If it's getting killed, going to jail, doing X amount of years to say you're real, I mean, that's fictitious to me, so you didn't win.
Something for people to really think and ponder about. But you have translated a lot of this into books. Yeah,
exactly.
And now a movie.
Definitely.
But let's talk about the books because they were before the movie. How many books do you have right now?
30.
30? Good God almighty, 30 books?
Yes, we got 30 books. And we have,
look, you made me go some kind of way.
Yeah, 30 books completed.
And 30 completed books?
Yes.
Okay, all right. So what put you in the zone? Hey, I mean, obviously you're very creative. You're just shoving them out, have to be intelligent, shoving them out. I mean, they have to be back-to-back books, a lot of them, right?
Yeah, well, they was written back-to-back, but not put out like that.
Okay.
You can't do that because, as far as when it comes to, you putting your business out there, your work out there, you want it to be perfect timing for the people to receive it and want more.
So how in the world do you write 30 books back to back?
Well, actually, due to what we were speaking about wrong decisions. In my wrong decisions, God was able to keep His hand on my life and tell me, okay, well, I asked Him, can I make a right from a wrong? While I'm doing this incarceration, let me make a right from a wrong with my life. And He gave me my writings. He gave me the gift to write. And that was my way of saying, this way I can give back for all the wrong that I created. And that's what it was. It come out to struggle, change, and prosperity.
All right, so we have the book author, gone filmmaker. What made you decide to say, hey, I want these events to jump off the pages?
Definitely when I started writing, I looked at it like I seen a bigger vision. I wanted to get back, if I can't reach but so many of my writings, I want to film. I want to turn every book to a movie.
So we can expect 30 movies?
Oh, 30 and more.
Okay.
30 and more. We just had to get in the door. That's it. In the film industry, Thanks to Master P, I seen him break down doors and lay a blueprint down that I just followed. I'm not going to reinvent that wheel. I'm going to roll with what I got.
All right, so all these books pertain different type of life lessons, or
well, they different life lessons.
It's a whole gamut?
Well, it's a whole gamut, you say. It's different genres. We do murder mysteries, love stories, sci-fi, just real talk, all life situations. And it may fit that person who's reading that book for them to say, you know what, I like this. So
what made you select a particular book to turn to a film? Which book did you turn and why? Well, this film, The Come Up, was basically based off of like my life, every other young youth or female that chose the glitz and glam of that game. And there's no hood better than nobody else. Everybody can relate to these stories.
So that's what made me want to take this film, this book, turn it to screenplay, because I felt like, you know what, they'll receive this because it's real.
So the book is your real life story?
That's parcels of mine and several others.
But it's all real?
Oh, it's well, you know, it's mine and others.
Okay.
Yeah, it's mine and others. It's mine and others.
Okay, but of course you change up the characters a little bit and things of that nature.
Yeah, definitely, you know, definitely.
All right, so how was it, you know, planning for the film?
Planning for it was real, you know, it was a lot of work. You know, we've been trying to complete it for 6 years, you know, going through the transformation of people actually, you know, you having all the money to be able to fund these projects, to having no money and asking people to believe in your dream to complete it. Mm-hmm. And that's what we were able to be blessed with. You know, after the money ran out, we was actually, you know, just asking, you know, we need people to believe in what we're doing. You know, we can't do it so much right now, but the advertisement is everything for everybody, because all of us trying to get, you know, get in that position to be able to break doors for Charlotte.
I want to talk about equipment, because a lot of filmmakers feel like, you know, certain equipment is mm-hmm. what you need to really pull this vision off. Mm-hmm. Like they have different prices of cameras and, mm-hmm. and things of that nature. How did you guys select your equipment?
Well, what we did, we went to you know, the people that were before us. Like you have Hollywood, where they had the big 35 millimeter, you know, reels, and you know, nothing is real anymore. It's digital. So, you know, we did our homework on it and seen how could we keep the quality. You know, because we ain't want no fuzzy stuff coming out where they look like, you know, they're not interested. When people see
you want that professional
look. You want that look. So we was able to do the homework on it and come up with like the Canon 5D. You know,
okay.
That camera is excellent for, you know, and I would advise that to all video makers that's in the videography or filmmakers that's doing film, to that Canon is top notch. And you know, it gives you the quality that you need, and we chose that. We got all Canon products.
So how did you pull your background team together? I know you're an entrepreneur, we'll mm-hmm. touch a little bit on that, mm-hmm. and so, you know, you might do this naturally, but how did you pull your background team?
Well, the background team came from like me checking around the city, trying to see who's who, or who's been making noise, or who actually wanted to be a part of something that was going to be gargantuan, you know.
Okay.
We was actually blessed to meet a guy, Massey from Hoodbound. You know, this brother was sitting over there doing music, and it was amazing to me to see guys that haven't been to school for this, haven't been no college, just naturally talented. They wanted something just like, you know, we wanted to build an empire with our company. You know, these guys over here doing music and doing videos, and really they don't understand these entrepreneurs. They entrepreneurs too, engineers. You know, but they not making the money that they would if they was in school. Mm-hmm. But these guys perfecting their craft, being engineers, right in my face, and I see it. So I was able to approach them guys and ask them, say, man, listen, we doing a movie, we do books, we do music as well. Let's collaborate. Maybe, you know, 50 of us will make more sense than one.
Okay, so that's great. So you
thing.
Got your team in place.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, did you do a casting call?
Yeah, we did we did a couple of casting calls. We did like 3. And on that third one, for this movie, in a 6-year process of trying to get it completed, we was able to meet some local talent. You know.
Yeah, I'm like, how did you pick your talent? I'm sure a number of people came out and you did 3 casting calls. You only had but so many characters.
Yeah, exactly. We had, matter of fact, it was important. It's good you asked that, because the local talent was something big on my heart, because I was saying we tried to reach out to the C-list actors that's actually SAG, and when I say SAG, they're registered in Hollywood mm-hmm. to be paid skilled actors.
That sounds like a lot of money.
Oh yeah, it was a lot of money. We went through a whole lot of money, but we was able to meet a few local talent, and that got in, and that's how we was handpicked them. And we met a brother named Mike Miles. Mm-hmm. He was very interested in me, because he came in, he said he had never participated in any castings, and he showed up. I gave him a script, and he memorized that whole script in less than 20 minutes.
Wow. Wow.
And he's one of our star actors, and I look for him to do something real big in the near future in film.
All right, so let's talk about some of the other local talent that you have. I've seen snippets, and I recognize a lot of people, like the man that's known for the books. What's his name?
James Muhammad.
Yeah,
Yes.
he the book man. I
Yeah.
said, the book man is up in there.
Yeah.
All right, then you had a local comedian in there as well.
Yeah, Nick Lewis. He did excellent in the film as well. He drove the film. James Muhammad did excellent as well. Vanessa Banner, who plays the lead female in the film, and her cast members.
I said she has just gone crazy.
Oh yeah.
Did she go crazy?
That's what she had to be. She had to be that role. She brought that role to life.
Is she like that in real life? Or?
Nah, she's totally different. She's cool. She's very cool.
Okay. Well, she did a good job.
She did an excellent job.
Okay,
Yeah.
so what do you want folks to get out of this film? We know that you guys have a screening, I believe, which is May 22nd.
Yes, May the 22nd.
At Central Piedmont.
Yeah, Central Piedmont at the
Yeah, you guys
DLF
actually,
theater.
I saw that because you sent a Facebook blast out, you know, to a lot of people that were saying they were going to attend. Where do you say it's going to be at?
It's going to be at 1206, the Dale Halton Theater at CPCC on Elizabeth Avenue.
Okay, so when these people come view the movie, what do you, as the creator, want them to receive?
Well, the message in this movie it was based on, you know, I like that question, because a lot of people saying black film, we always, well, you know, they always say, well, what's up with the movie? What's the message in it? It's just gonna be another shoot 'em up, bang bang movie. I love when they ask me that question. I say, well, let me say this. I say, you know, when an author writes about what he write about, he's writing about what he know. I said, you see a lot of film that comes out about, especially from younger youth, when they write about things, it's not that they just title in one area of it. This is what they know. And with this film, we went back from a letter, and this actual film is for the youth or at-risk teens or race, you know, everybody. We just a conscious movie. We actually got a letter from the Willie Lynch letter actually is in Congress, and it shows that you know how people were kept in bondage to pit each other against one race.
Mentally.
Yeah, mentally, and to try to, you know, keep them in bondage. And I wanted our people, you know, black, to know that the youth got to realize that it's been a trick, that we can't keep doing that black on black crime. We can't keep doing it. And when they see this film, they'll be able to listen from the beginning to the end what we were trying to bring together and get them this wisdom.
Well, do you believe some people will be watching it and it's like maybe hitting them in their seat, or maybe they were going to make a bad decision, but they may change?
Definitely. That's exactly why we went at them this way. I know once they sit down, you know, we love all the accolades we get for us. You know, Marcus, you know, he from Charlotte, and you know, he made a film, but it's the message. It's that message that we trying to hit them with, because when they leave there, they have a whole new outlook, and maybe we'll be able to, you know, get the crime rate down.
Now, when you say black on black crime, which there's some people that don't like that terminology, but it's very well known.
Yeah, exactly.
It's an issue in inner cities and even some small towns all across America. So do you see this film going nationwide or global? What's your plans?
It's definitely going to go global. It'll go global. We got some looks right now for some major film companies that showed us, you know, very good interest in the film. And you know, it was just like, you know, we told them this is something we have to do. We want to get this out, this message out. And that's what made them say, you know what, we like that idea. And, you know, these from all different races. You know, it's just no one pinpointed race. Blacks saying they want the officers. We talking about some major film companies that's interested in it, because they say there's a need for the people. You know?
All right. So basically, this is a great way via film for you to reach people on a mental level, on a psychological level, and this movie is something that you created just especially for that.
Yeah, ain't no doubt. I can give credit to two people like John Singleton and Spike Lee with, you know, like School Day, when he was saying, you remember he kept saying, wake up, wake up. That's the message. We trying to get everybody to wake up. And it's just modern day, it's now. You know, from that film being older to our film being today.
All right, so in this film, since it's a lot of your life when you were doing some things that were kind of dysfunctional at the time, I think that there's a lot of people in that situation right now at the present time.
Exactly.
But what would be their alternative? Like maybe they don't see no other way. Are they going to be able to see another way?
Yeah, they'll be able to see another way if they seek down inside themselves and say, you know what, even without seeing this film, you know, just to look in themselves and say, you know what, you know, maybe I seen the Marcus Massey change. You know, if somebody was able to get at them, because it don't take but one. You know, everybody got a conscience. I don't care who they are. They can say what they want to say because of this current situation, but everybody got a conscience and everybody knows a creator. Whatever name they call him.
Yeah.
You know, I call him, you know, God. You know, Jesus. That's my personal, you know, savior. But they have to go to that calling of that creator, that being, that supreme being, to know that you didn't bring yourself here, so you know to call on that name. And if you seek that, then you'll see a change. You'll see a different avenue. You just got to call on them.
All right. So it's going to be a lot of things they get out of this movie. And it's based off of you. So just in real life, at what point did you decide to make a change?
In real life?
In real life.
Well, actually, it was in 1999. You know, I had what was it, 8-9 years left on a sentence. I had a 15-year sentence.
Wow. And
I was sitting in my room, and I was looking out the window, and I was at Leavenworth, Kansas. I was at Leavenworth, USP. I couldn't see nothing but...
Started here and wound up in Kansas.
I've been all over. And couldn't see nothing but the sky. There's a wall surrounding that place. And I thought about it, and I say, is this what I want for my life, the rest of my life? If this what I want? Because you know, at 16, I had 30 years.
Wow.
I got out on an early release plan. You know, parole. That's when parole was in. Then I come out here for 2 years, and I ended up with 15 more. You know, that, and it was like
recidivism rate.
Yeah, it's just like, you know,
come out, go in.
Yeah, and it was like, you know, after I sat down and really looked at my life and seen that my mom's getting older, my dad getting, you know, older, he getting sick. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's out there outside of my immediate family to take care of them. What about me being a part of, you know, seeing the transformation, my mom getting older and getting sick? Who gonna be there for her like she was there for me when I was young, you know? And I sit back and I just say it's much bigger than that, and I call on that name. I say, man, whatever you do, this don't make me a square. Use me, but don't make me no square. And he used me. He gave me a clothing line first. So
you was cool with it?
Yeah, I was cool with it. As long as, you know, when you're in time of trouble and you call on that name, he gonna reveal himself.
I want to go back to prison life, since we're trying to deter some people from bad behavior here. Yeah. Had a friend of mine that did an armed robbery, and he probably did about 7 years. And he said that's just like, it's like a society, just like it is out here.
It is.
You can get everything in there that you can get out here.
It is.
So what's so horrible about it, and what's wrong with the rehabilitation part? Like you said, you came out, you went back in. That happens all the time. What's going on with that?
Well, a lot of programs as well. Like, I think it starts with self. If you don't have yourself together mentally to even want to change, then, you know, you're going to result to so many quick things. Like when it's happening, if you ain't getting what you usually get when you out here, it's like you got your mind made up. I'm head first in the frying pan. I'm going right back at it. Because, you know, I can't get no job. That's the first excuse. I can't get no job. I got a felony. You know, that's the weakest excuse in the world. Because if you're an entrepreneur and you believe in your hustle, your grand hustle, then you know you can take what was illegit and make it legit and do the right thing with it, with that talent God gave you, you know. A lot of people just use, you know, just different excuses to me.
But is it comfortable or uncomfortable?
It's comfortable when a person is setting their mind frame that, hey, this is what I'm gonna do. You know, I'm gonna do this.
Kind of psychotic.
Yeah, it's just, exactly. It's just, you know, but then, like I say, when they realize, like, I look at it like the Roach Motel. You check in, but you don't check out. So many times they got the laws not changed. 3 strikes, you out. It's gonna stop that repeated door. And now brothers starting to wake up and say, you know what? Hold up, man. They talking about, you know, they talking about 20 years. I'm already 45. You know, it's a done dollar.
Well, I kind of look at it as modern day slavery.
That's what it is.
Not to say that some people shouldn't go.
Yeah.
And of course, sometimes some innocent people go, but it's like modern day slavery because now they have you building furniture and doing all kind of stuff.
Oh yeah.
You might get paid 80 cents a day.
Yeah, they do all that.
They would love to put you in there.
Oh, ain't no doubt. But them come from the choices that we make. You know, they gonna do what they gotta do, but you gotta do what you gotta do.
So basically, if the devil presents himself, you have a choice.
Yeah, you got a choice.
Now, you mentioned entrepreneur. It's a lot of people that go in there and they get blackballed. It's supposed to be rehabilitation. When you come back out to society, you do get blackballed. Mm-hmm. So in order to have success, it's easy to do it if you can find your way as an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
What did you choose?
I chose, you mean for as me?
Business-wise.
Business-wise, I chose myself as an entrepreneur. When I was released in 2007, like I told you before, I had my one-on-one with my creator. And I started making my transformation started happening then. Like, I left in 94. 99, my creator spoke to me. I started making my moves towards my freedom, even at 8 years left.
Wow.
I just said, I got to do this to get right before I get out here. I want to generate a capital now. I could do it from right here, because I know my mindset. And I came up with, God told me to say, struggle, change, prosperity. I went through the struggle, going through my, my evil thoughts and doing evil things, not listening, bumping my head. Then I went through my change. It's when I spoke to my creator and told him, say, man, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go through. Just don't make me no square. Let me stay fly with it. And then my prosperity is today. That's what we're doing. I'm making things happen.
But you have a business before you did the movie, right?
Well, yeah.
What kind of business is it? What's the name of it?
I had Tires Galore, an actual automotive company I have. I had a moving company, Gargantuan Movers.
Gargantuan, so that's been here for a long time?
Oh, that's been here.
Everything is gargantuan?
Yeah, that came from me and David Pitt. That's right, it's huge. It's huge.
All right, one thing you do also in regards to mechanics is you have specials for single mothers?
Oh yeah, definitely. On Mondays, we have single mothers Mondays. They come over and we do things for them. We give them a free oil change or, tire rotation or, things of that nature. All
right. Well, we appreciate you coming on the program here today. Yeah. We know that a number of people have tuned in and they have learned a lot based off of what you said. Mm-hmm. A lot of people are excited about this movie premiere to see the stuff in the streets actually become real life and to figure out what kind of lessons we can learn. And what can we do to reverse the Willie Lynch syndrome, which is really scheduled to expire soon?
Yeah, that's right.
If no more psychological stuff comes down the line.
That's right.
It's definitely scheduled. All right, thank you, Marcus Massey with Gargantuan Entertainment. We appreciate you guys for watching the Community Spotlight. Tune in next week, same time, same place.